What's up guys, Matthew Battles, and today we've got... Sorry, you're gonna hear my mouse clicking. My mouse is really loud and it's by my mic. I don't have really a setup that's out there. It's pretty cramped. So, we got a Pokemon game tier list today. As you can see, we've got the S tier, the S minus tier, the A plus tier, the A tier, and the A minus tier because all Pokemon games are good, and the Gen 1 tier. Not exactly to make fun of Gen 1 as much, but because there's a bit of a problem, and that is the fact that I have not played Gen 1 ever. So I cannot accurately judge Gen 1, so Gen 1's in the bottom. Why have I not played Gen 1? Because I started with Gold and Silver. I never owned Red, Blue, and Yellow, and I didn't own Red, Blue, and Yellow until they were digital, and at that point, why would I want to go back and play the games that were... Not that simplicity is a bad thing, but lacked even abilities and natures, had a combined special stat, and broken mechanics, rapid stuff. Not anything I particularly want to play. I'd rather... If Gen 1 had the Gen 2, right? If Gen 1 was like Gen 2, because Gen 2 fixed a lot of, at least for me, the main issues. I can deal with what, Gen 2 lacked, and I'm fine with it. If Gen 1 was like that, it'd be fine, but it's not. So, Gen 1 is there. So this is going to be a bit difficult. There's probably going to be one more game in the Gen 1 tier. And we'll see what that is later. So, starting with Gen 2, I think I'm going to put them tentatively in A. I don't have... I played Gold when I was little. I've got through most of a Silver playthrough. But it's not something I played as recently. For what I enjoy the... I enjoy the old aspect. Like I said with Gen 1, it's not the fact... It's the fact that it's got some bad mechanics in it. I like Gen 2, I like the old. If Gen 1, that's the reason I say if Gen 1 was like Gen 2, I'd play Gen 1 more. I like the old, it's nostalgic, I like the music, I like the graphics. It's enjoyable. That being said, it's older, there are some things that it doesn't have that other games have, some newer games have specifically, that just makes the game not as annoying, let's say. It's not as annoying, because really the most annoying thing is grinding. I've heard Johto's got a nasty level curve, especially in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but I can't really attest to that because neither Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Gold Silver Crystal are games that I've played like super recently to be able to really be like, yeah, the level curve is nasty. So, I'm going to put them in A. I still like them. I think there's some cool things like the bug catching contest. I think the bug catching contest was cool. Next up is Gen 3. So I'm going to put Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald all in the same tier and put them in S-. I love Gen 3. Gen 3 is my first game is actually Leaf Green. I got Sapphire second. I really love Gen 3. I love going back and playing through Gen 3. I played Emerald as actually my restart copy. I'm probably going to finish it sometime and then not have it as a restart copy and restart Ruby. I know there are some differences. There's more Dell battles in Emerald, which I really like. By the way, I'm rating this based off of main game. I'm ignoring the post game because all the post games are way different, and really, unless it's the new gen or like Leaf Green, I don't really go play through the post game much of other games. Like there's usually something in every game that I like doing, and I'll go back for that. But generally speaking, Leaf Green, I go back for nostalgia. X and Y, I go back for kind of the same reason, and same with Oris, not as much. I can do some stuff in Oris, like leveling up Pokemon with a bit of ease. I don't really go back and play Sun and Moon much after they finished. I don't play Black and White 2 really much after they finished, especially once I explore everything. I don't care for the Battle Frontier. I know some people love it. I don't love that. I don't love battling as much. I like just casual using my Pokemon. So I can fight high-level wild Pokemon, or just rematch trainers randomly and be pretty content. So, I'm putting Gen 3 at S-. I really enjoy Gen 3. All these are enjoyment level 2. Some games I enjoy less than others. I enjoy playing Gen 3. It's probably Might be my favorite of the old generations. That's the one I started on. I just overall really like Gen 3. There's not much, like, if you brought up something in the comment section, I could probably reply to you, but just naming random things, unstructured, difficult. Fire Red and Leaf Green, other Gen 3 games, I'm putting them in A+ tier. I'm putting them just a little bit lower than Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I like Leaf Green and Fire Red a lot. I think they're just a touch below. The remakes of Kanto, which is great. Gosh, I restarted the recording part of the way through it, now I'm just yawning. Fire and Leaf Green was my first game. I love Leaf Green. I think Kanto's just solid. It's not the absolute best thing in the world, and it doesn't help that it's the same with Johto. They're the original 2 regions, but their first games, like, there's only so much you can do when you remake a game, because, you know, you can't add a volcano or something, or some extreme environment. Those were the early ones that kind of suffered from that, because the regions are fairly basic, but I still think that both of them are good. I don't like that people diss Kanto and Johto. I love Johto. I think Johto's a great region. I guess I enjoy maybe Hoenn a little bit more. It's hard to judge just the regions themselves, because a lot of it has to do with how you feel about their games too. I enjoy Kanto and Johto. I know they're more basic, but that's fine. I enjoy Kanto and Johto. I'm putting them a touch below Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I think I just like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald a bit more than Leaf Green, Fire Red. I've got a lot of good memories of Leaf Green, Fire Red though. Next is Diamond, Pearl. I say that because Diamond and Pearl are an easy step below Platinum for sure. I'm not going to put Emerald in the tier above. I haven't played Crystal, so I'm just sticking with the other 2 Gen 2 games. I really don't think it's a tier below or a tier above. Well, maybe it's a tier below, tier above, but I think it's a fair ranking, you know, to just put it with them, just like Emerald. Diamond and Pearl are a tier below Platinum. They don't have the distortion world. They're not as good. Platinum looks cooler, like the volcano at the, whatever was Mount Stark, I think. They don't have, I don't think it's as, I think there's like some lava you can kind of see. Kind of same with White 2. White and White 2. Like, you're going in, you can see the kind of like more effects. I don't think they even have that as much. There's only 2 fire type lines, so if you don't want to use, I mean, I love fire type, so I generally like to use a fire type. So if I'm not using Infernape, I'd rather just go play Platinum where I have options. Diamond and Pearl are just a step below. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're still Pokemon games, but I'm choosing basically any Pokemon game over Diamond and Pearl. Now with that Platinum, this one only a tier above because it's better, yeah, than Diamond and Pearl, but I just don't find Gen 4 as interesting. I don't know why. Like, that's another one. It was middle Gen 3. Leaf Green, Fire Red had already come out. Ruby and Sapphire, maybe even Emerald had come out by the time I started playing. I think Diamond and Pearl only came out a year or 2 after I started playing Pokemon. So I know time also kind of flies a little bit quicker, I guess, because I was really young, right? I grew up on Diamond and Pearl as well. Like, Gen 3 and Gen 4 were the games I grew up on. That was my elementary school. When I was really young, early elementary was, you know, Leaf Green, Fire Red, Ruby, Sapphire. And then later elementary schools when, you know, the rest of them came out, early middle school. No, it was elementary school. Black and White came out when I was still in elementary school. Those were my childhood games, but just going back nowadays, I don't really love Platinum. It's good. I'd play it again. I worry if I restart it though, I wouldn't finish it. I just don't think Gen 4 is as interesting. Gen 4 added a lot of things as generations, but we're rating the games. I don't think Platinum's the most fun Pokemon game. And at least Gold and Silver have that nostalgia feel. Also that retro nostalgia feel. Sure, there's nostalgia for Gen 4, but even then, I just don't feel as much compared to like Gen 3. And it's weird, I just generally, I like Gen 3 a lot more than Gen 4. It's hard to put my finger on it because there's nostalgia for both games. I don't really know why I've got Gen 4 so much lower, but I do. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you might have caught this when I said it's hard to judge the level curves. I have actually not beaten Heart Gold and Soul Silver in a very, very, very long time. I asked my mom where the Pokewalker is. She found the Pokewalker. I forgot if we set it somewhere or if it's got on my shelf or what. But the Pokewalker's somewhere and it works. And that's cool. Maybe I'll play through Soul Silver again with that. I've got a friend's copy of Heart Gold that's beaten. I like playing Voltorb Flip, and I like putting on the GB sounds. I have not played Soul Silver since it came out, basically. I've started a couple playthroughs, gotten fairly shortly into it, and stopped. don't know the reason. I guess part of it's I don't love... going back and thinking about it, because I'm trying to look at the games more positively for this, right? I'm not looking at the negative. Trying not to look at the negative parts. There's the biathlon. The Safari Zone's really cool. Route 47's a great route with cool music. I can remember watching... I remember watching the King Nappy, and oh boy, well, we're not gonna get into that. On like Route 47 with some Pokemon, I don't really remember what the Pokemon was or what team, but it was, you know, like the whatever the Heart Gold Soul Silver, like harder ones, right? By whatever the guy's name is that does them. I think it starts with a D maybe or something. Anyway, I haven't played them. I haven't played them in so long that I cannot accurately rate Heart Gold Soul Silver. So they're going into the Gen 1 tier, aka the tier I've never actually played. So, moving on, we've got Black and White next. Yeah, Black and White. Black and White is easy. This is, I think, part of what's tinted myself of Gen 4 is I started with Gen 3. Even though Gen 4 is my elementary school, I started with Gen 3 in early elementary. And then going back as time has progressed, I really love Gen 5. Gen 5 is actually where I got out of Pokemon. I played through Black and White, stopped playing Pokemon, and then sometime in Gen 2, sometime still later in Gen 5, because I realized that looking back, the break was definitely not as big. But it took me, I did take a break in the middle of Gen 5, and then I played through sometime in Black 2. I was watching Lure, and I was like, these games look pretty cool. So I started playing Black 2. I don't remember if he was doing the playthrough as it came out, or if I just randomly found it. I think I was subscribed to Leroy before. But I went back to Gen 5 there. So, the gap for me, though, of not playing Pokemon was in Gen 5. But I love Gen 5. I think it's graphically amazing. I think it's perfect sprite-wise. Perfect sprites for everything. Perfect graphic style. I think the music is also perfect. It's like the peak synthesized soundtrack. Ace Attorney Investigations also has this. It's like the peak before everything became orchestrated. And I think it sounds way better than a Heart Gold Soul Silver. Not that the compositions of Heart Gold Soul Silver, of Gen 4 as a whole, not that the compositions of Gen 4 are bad. They're fine. I don't like the sound of Heart Gold Soul Silver and Diamond Pearl Platinum. I think Gen 5 games are just a vast improvement on the quality of sound, not the actual composition. That being said, Black and White has fantastic compositions for songs. Route 10 is probably top 10, arguably, video game song for me of all time. I think... Oh, and they got the best boss themes too in 2 Plasma. Best story. I love the new Pokédex. A ton of my favorite Pokemon are in Gen 5. I really enjoy Gen 5. And with that being said, it should come as no surprise that Black 2 and White 2, which are basically just better Black and White. Helio was telling me that the TMs, you get better TMs before the end of the game, which makes sense because I think it's a bit longer too. You get to the Elite Four, and the Elite Four is in like the 50s, mid-50s, like the Ace. I remember when I restarted White 2, I'd taken a long break, and I was going to do challenge mode, so I'd restarted, but my Pokemon were like 56, 58, and I was after Humala City at the end. So, Black and White 2 are just better Black and White. Everything's improved, more Pokemon, better team selection. You might get some slightly better items at slightly better placements. Basically, Black and White 2 is just better Black and White. As good as Black and White are. So they're going in S tier. I'm not making another tier just because they're the best, or I think they're the best. Then we got Oris. I'm putting Oris in A+, because even though objectively speaking, I talk about how the newer games are easier to play, like Audino makes Gen 5 much better than older gens to grind. Even though everything Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire screams better than Gen 3, I just like playing through Gen 3 more, even though the grinding at the end is a pain. There's some great things about Oris that are improved. Not just the basic generational enhancements, but even like designs of characters. Like Team Aqua looks way better. A lot of character designs like Brawley and Roxanne are way better, but at the same time, there's just something like Mauville. I don't like Mauville as much. I think Flying Over Everything is really cool in Latios and Latios. I don't like Mauville as much. There's just Fortree's theme I don't like as much. There's just a lot of random small things I don't like as much, and they add up for me to want to just go play Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald more. Simple as that. Pokemon Moon, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon. Oh, no. We have X and Y. I forgot X and Y's first. I'm putting X and Y in the S tier. People... Joshua 100. I'm going by some things the people in the Discord server talk about. I know he likes them a lot, and I think Exotics as well. I think another guy in the server goes by Arkvale on Discord. He doesn't have them as high, and I think other people don't have them as high. I like X and Y. There's nostalgia here in a way. It's weird, like, I can pick out nostalgia for a lot of things. X and Y specifically over Oris, though, because I remember watching a lot of Pokemon YouTube at the time. All the Beyblade community was playing Pokemon, and we all played X and Y. So, X and Y for me, there's a nostalgia there for that. And it's interesting, because you look at these, right? I've got Leaf Green is my first, but they're not the highest. Platinum was my childhood, but not too young childhood for Diamond Pearl Platinum, but I've got them lower. It's kind of weird how all of it works, you know? Just how you gain your preferences for things and likes and dislikes. I love X and Y. I think they're really fun. I'm playing through X now with a friend, so maybe we'll talk about it once on our podcast, the Fifth Interest podcast. You can go check it out. Maybe we'll talk about it then, once we finish, or as we go through the game. We'll see how easy or something is compared to other games. I think a lot of it definitely is team, though. I know some people do weird runs, but I mean just your basic, if you're your average player who plays making a team, or however you do a team, right? When I've had bad teams, aka teams where I've just kind of caught random stuff, or teams where my Wonder Trade has gone wrong, or I use Pokemon I haven't used before, and I didn't end up liking them, or team synergy was bad, my playthroughs have been harder, even in the newer games, which are easier by some people's standards. When I've had really good teams, really any game is not too bad. I love X and Y. I think it's the first 3D games. I think Kalos is the best region. It's a diverse Pokedex. It did a lot of things, like Sun and Moon has a diverse Pokedex, but Kalos did it first. I love the region. I love the music. I don't love Shauna. I don't actually hate the rest of Gen 6 cast. I just don't really like Shauna that much. I think Gen 6 is great. I think X and Y are great games. I'm gonna put Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee real quick, just in the A- tier. I think they're nice. They're casual and laid back, and they're nice. They're nice games. I'm putting them there because I'm not making an own tier just for them. I don't think they're that bad, and so I'm just gonna stick them with Diamond Pearl in the A- tier. Sorry if that disrespects Diamond Pearl in some way, or anybody's upset at that. Sun and Moon is where we make tiers start to get big. I'm putting Sun and Moon in the S- tier because I genuinely enjoy playing through Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think, like with X and Y, they did a lot. All the quality of life enhancements were still there. Still got the island. You know, well, I don't like the island as much. Here, it's weird. I don't like the region as much. I don't like the music quite as much, but I love the characters a lot in the Sun and Moon, and I just generally enjoy playing through it. And I'm putting Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon in the exact same tier because it's the same thing. I just really enjoy these games. I think they're fun. I think modern Pokemon's got to a point where I think, as long as they don't really screw it up, the modern games are just generally fun because they're not. You don't have to sit there and grind ages or anything. As long as they do a good job with the level curves, whether you have the XP share on always or you could turn it off, as long as they do a good job with the level curve, I think Pokemon's in a place where the games are just generally nicer because of things like unlimited TM usage. I don't want to have to worry about, well, I could use a TM for my insert random Pokemon, but I could save it and trade it to my main game, so I can put that on another Pokemon, you know? Like, take Flamethrower, for example. Yeah, I could put Flamethrower on my Charizard. He gets Flamethrower natural, I think, but just example. But I could trade the Flamethrower TM over and give it to Ninetales on Leaf Green. You know, because maybe on Leaf Green, maybe I've already got a fire type on, like Magmar with Flamethrower or something. You know, I need another Flamethrower team. Obviously, all those Pokemon get Flamethrower by level up, but you get the point, right? Unlimited teams are just good. One thing Healer brought back to Gen 4 is that you need a ton of HMs in Gen 4. I want to say that was right. I played them somewhat recently, but it's been a little. I finished it recently, but it's been a little bit since I played it. So that's another knock on Gen 4, possibly, though my memory is a bit foggy on it, but I think I kind of remember that. I think I do remember needing an HM person in my party. I think I had to dump a Polion or something on my team, my starter, because I needed the HM person, the HM Pokemon, and that kind of sucks. Sword and Shield are really tough because I haven't actually gone back and played through them. I've put most of my focus into just playing Sword. So this is a bit This is a bit tough. I enjoyed playing through the games. I'm gonna put Sword and Shield in A. I would rather play them than Diamond and Pearl, just because it's, again, newer gen. Newer gens just have nice mechanics. I need to play them one more time at least to get a really good grip if I found the game boring, fun, or, you know, everything. I think there are a lot of missed opportunities in it, and I think it should have been voice acted. A lot of new Nintendo games are voice acted. Well, I guess maybe not all of them. Fire Emblem is fully voice acted, though. I think Pokemon should have been voice acted. Seeing Pierce sing is awkward with no voice. I think the music is really good, though. Some of the music's really good. I don't have a great memory of a lot of the music still, though. It hasn't really stuck with me. Some of the battle themes have been good, but the other themes haven't stuck with me as much. I think it looks really great. I understand the not being able to, like, you look in the distance and it's not Breath of the Wild. You know, it's just ocean, like on the Island of Armor and the mountains and stuff. When you're on top by that tower. It's the Tower of Darkness, right, or something. I can understand some of those complaints. I think it still is a really gorgeous looking game. The color palette is perfect. They could not have done a better job with the color palette. I think they should have made a full Pokédex, because when you have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and you've got a Gen 4 remake coming out, and if you keep doing more Let's Go games, like a Let's Go Johto, like, just put all the Pokemon in the game. You've already got most of them with the DLC, or a good amount of them with the DLC. Even if you roll them out slowly, and use it for, like, a competitive thing, hey, look, here's new Pokemon that we're adding, you know, into the game, and now they're going to be good in the format, like, even if you do that, that's fine. If I have to wait, it's fine, because eventually I'm going to have all the Pokemon in the game. I hate that there was what? They added the Gen 3 starters, which is cool but really weird. They have the Gen 1 starters, obviously, because they always have the Gen 1 starters, and then you've got Gen 7 and Gen 8. So it's cool you get the last Gen starters, but Gen 3 is out of nowhere, and we get Gen 1 starters every game, so, like, can I get a different set of starters? I would much rather have Gen 2 just because it's cool. You know, they're just different. It's been a while since we have Gen 2, but if we get Johto, that's a bit less relevant. But you can't put those Johto starters in the game, so. I really would like Gen 6, because not as much Chestnut, but I think it'd be cool to use Delphox. I think it'd be cool to use, Delphox. I think it'd be cool to use Greninja again. It's been a bit since he's Greninja. I like Greninja more than Teleon, too, so it'd be cool. Anyway, there's definitely missed opportunities, but the thing that keeps them from being so low is, I'm sorry, but you cannot argue that the quality of life things that came in Gen 5 and especially Gen 6, they keep any game from being A-, or lower than A, you know? I think Diamond Pearl are a step down below Platinum, and, you know, Let's Go and Eevee are totally different, and you could probably make an argument that maybe Let's Go Eevee deserve their own tier, B+ or something, or actually, I'd make everything. I'd make it S+, S, S-, A+, A-. I'd have one at the top and move everything up one. But anyway, you can argue that there's a, you know, put that there. I think really they shouldn't be rated as much. That's why I'm just putting the lowest one. But if you want to exclude Let's Go Eevee for now, I think Diamond Pearl the lowest. I don't love Gen 4 as much. I think Platinum's just better. Tier above it, A tier. Gold, Silver, Crystal, Platinum, Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield, I think, are the worst of the newer games. There's a lot of things they do well, but there's a lot of things that are missed opportunities, and I think they should have done differently. But quality of life enhancements just make them not go any lower than that. I can't put them in the bottom tier when they're much easier to play. Why would I ever go and choose? Not that I'm okay. I'm putting them in the same tier, right? But tell me why I should go play like an older game, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Platinum, Diamond, Pearl, over Sword and Shield, unless there's like unless it's just been a while, you know. I think generally the newer games are easier to play, but again, I've only played them once, so that's why I'm putting them here for now. They could move up a tier or something. I think they're below. They'd only move up one tier max. I think they're kind of deserving here because it's easier to pick out flaws in them than other games, but they're easy to play. Platinum's not bad or anything. It's just harder to play, and Gold and Silver are harder to play. That's what, you know, that's what I mean. I still like them in about the same range as Sword and Shield, but they're harder to play. Platinum is good. Everybody loves Platinum, except I don't love Platinum. I think it's good. I think there's a lot of better games in Platinum. Gold, Silver, Crystal, old, but I still like them. But they're not as good as the other ones. Leaf Green and Firewood I like a lot. Not the best games in the world, but I'd rather play them than a lot of games still. Oris is easier, or not easier, better than Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. There's a lot of extra features, but there's a lot of just minor things I don't like as much, and I just kind of like going back to the older games, you know? Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald are an S tier. I love Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Some of my favorites. X, Y, Gen 6 and Gen 7 in their entireties, minus Aurus, are an S- as well because the new games are just fun to play. I can use Wonder Trade for now, and when I can't use Wonder Trade, they've got humongous Pokédexes with a ton of Pokemon, so there's so many options. This is one of the things I like about Wonder Trade, but one thing you need, I think, is nice being able to bring Pokemon up, is I used Breloom in a restarted X when I restarted with my friend. Breloom has never been in the main Pokédex of a game that isn't Hoenn. Obviously, Hoenn's been remade, so it's at least been in 2 games. You know, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Aurus. But you mean to tell me that you've got a Pokemon that was introduced in Gen 3 that has been in... okay, if counted by series. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum? No. That's all it's not even for already. X and Y, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Black and White 2, Black and White its own dex, and Sword and Shield. All of those games, so that's what, 7? 1, 2, 3, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, 1, X, Y, 2, Sun and Moon, 3, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, 4, yeah, Black and White 2, Sword and Shield. Black and White did have its own dex, so let's say 6. That's 6 games, and it's never been back? You've got to be kidding me, that's absurd. And its typing is on Chestnut, who is also not in Sword and Shield, though I'd much rather Breloom. And Virizion, a legend. I just think that's absurd. Anyway, I think the new games are just generally enjoyable to play, just because there's Wonder Trade lets you use so many different things. I used, like I said, I used Breloom, I've used Pokemon you're not supposed to be able to get, hidden ability Pokemon, and it makes for a really interesting playthrough because you get a bunch of Pokemon that once Wonder Trade's over, or the Wi-Fi is taken out from those games, you won't be able to do that again. So, that's why they're all, I think they're a lot of fun. Even though, I mean, I know people have preferences, I just think the newer games are just fun. They're fun. Overall, they're fun. Some people might not find them as fun, or they might prefer the older games, and that's fair. That's fine. Fine opinion. All great games. I just find the newer games to be enjoyable. And the S tier is Gen 5. Gen 5 is just perfection. I can't say enough good things about Gen 5. Ultimate limited TM usage, generally good TMs, especially. I think in Black and White 2 is a really good set of TMs before the post game. Amazing Pokédex for the Univers region. Amazing Pokédex in Black and White 2 when they added stuff. Even better one. Best story in the game, best music, best style, best look. Everything about seasons, everything about Gen 5 is amazing. So, that is my tier list. You can put yours in the comments down below, or join the Discord server and talk about it there. And with that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the Custom Beyblade tournament because this is going up tonight, the August 11th. So stay tuned for round 2 tomorrow. Be great. And yeah, I will see you guys. Oh, and check out the Fifth Interest podcast with me and my friend Meryl. And I will see you guys in the next video.